So I have talked about Doom, Quake, Duke Nukem, and the other well-known FPS franchises, and I will continue to do so, but what about the forgotten FPS game series? I mean, to be honest, even Duke Nukem can be lumped into that category to a certain extent, with the last mainline game coming out 10 years ago at this point. Yes, the World Tour Edition was released in 2016, which is fairly recent for Duke Nukem standards, but that was just a mediocre port of Duke 3D. I've already discussed the possibility of rebooting Duke Nukem in a previous video, so let's move on. Blood is an unfortunate FPS series, and that's because the first game is one of the greatest first-person shooters ever created. Monolith Productions is still a quality company that pumps out good games, but their shooter days are long gone. Blood 2 was a disaster because of GT Interactive rushing the game out the door without giving Monolith enough time to make it play halfway decent. Now, I don't think Blood 2 would have been a great game regardless, but at least it would have been functional. Their distribution rights are owned by Atari, if I recall correctly, while the IP is still owned by Monolith, who now fall under Warner Brothers. That's why Atari got Night Dive Studios to make the remaster, but since Monolith is now making Lord of the Rings games, I don't see a future where Blood 3 exists. It would be great to see a new episode designed by the original creators, but I doubt that'll ever happen, and that's where the fans step in to make custom mods, like Death Wish. Monolith's FPS games must have been hit with a curse or something, because No One Lives Forever has the exact same rights issue. It's even worse with NOF, because you can't buy any of the games legally, and your options are to either obtain a used copy or pirate the game. To sum up, nobody actually knows who owns the game, and everybody that's involved doesn't think it's important to figure out. Night Dive tried to get in the middle of this to resolve the issue, but to no success. No One Lives Forever had 2 follow-ups, and they can't be bought either. So this franchise is truly dead, but not necessarily forgotten. There's a small die-hard fanbase for the game, and they have preserved NOF better than any of these potential official owners. Redneck Rampage is another dead series, and I only count it as a series because it had 2 expansion packs as well as a couple of spin-off games here and there. Now, I doubt anyone is clamoring for a new Redneck Rampage game, but the original had so much potential that was squandered due to the poor level design and gunplay. While there are worse games on the build engine, Redneck Rampage is certainly not a highlight either, and that's annoying because I kinda like the overall concept and art style. Rise of the Triad is another game that oozes personality, but will probably never get another new entry again. I am glad that Interceptor and Apogee made an effort with the Rise of the Triad remake, and even though it has its issues, I can't say I don't like it. Quake is a very well-known franchise, but the Strogg storyline that started with Quake 2 and continued with Quake 4 is over at this point. I generally liked Quake 4 and hated Quake 2, but even if I thought Quake 2 was a masterpiece, I still find the Lovecraftian world of Quake 1 infinitely more interesting. So if they do make a new Quake game, I'm hoping that it takes more cues from the original game than anything else. What are some more forgotten FPS franchises? Let me know in the comment section below, and I'll see you next time.